Hello. I am just turning on my camera because I'm feeling really frustrated. Sad, hurt, used. I don't know if I'm gonna post this or not. I probably will end up doing so. I just can't sleep. And hopefully one day I'll be able to post an update video where I'm happy and shining and smiling and grateful of all the good things that are happening in my life. Because of me and because of things that I've done to create that. I just get really hurt by, Grant the other night. We wasn't exactly, things ended really badly. It was like a real shock. He'd offered me to, because I'm kind of in a really awful situation at the moment. And, well, first back in March, he and I had written out this whole plan. It was in Google Docs. I saw that he tried to delete it, to erase any evidence of it ever being there. But yeah, we had written out this plan, and I was gonna go out to Australia because I had lost my job and lost my home, and my ex had taken my kids away from me, and that is still an ongoing custody battle. But he makes a lot of money and can afford a top lawyer and all that stuff. So anyway, but he knew all of this that was happening. Originally, we had planned for him to come out here over the summer, and then that all kind of happened in March. And so I had been in touch with a friend, and Grant said, "Oh, come out here, just get on a plane in a couple weeks, just put all your stuff, sell your car and get all your stuff in storage, just come out here." And I was hesitant at that moment, only because I wanted to see, first of all, the outcome of the court hearing that I was to have in June. Unfortunately, the whole situation was so traumatic to me. I became so depressed. It just wrecked me, and it's still but I'm doing my best to kind of overcome those moments of despair, apathy, sadness, and grief about the whole situation. Anyway, I really am trying to do better, and sort of like biohack my way out of the heaviness of it. I know it's not exactly the same as a parent's child or children dying, but that's what it felt like for me. And every time I talk about it, my eyes leak. Anyway, so I'm not gonna get into all of the nitty gritty, but basically I was supposed to go out there, and then I was in touch with a friend and in Queensland, and then it was like, oh, I'll go to Queensland for a bit and meet up with her, and then, you know, you could meet me out there or whatever, and like we could, you know, start a life out there or whatever. And so anyway, June rolled around. The outcome of the hearing was not necessarily what I wanted, and then July, and then so finally I was in such a situation with finances and money, and didn't have a job, and yeah, I just was like, what am I gonna do? But Grant and I had been carrying on this, you know, like, let's, you know, build this back together kind of a thing. And let's, you know, help each other win and stuff like that. So anyway, so yeah, I said, well, you know, so we were having some issues with, mostly with his insistence on having his friendship with his ex-wife. That's pretty much it. And just kind of, you know, not being fully honest on both sides really about what was going on. And so I said, I'll go out to Queensland then, and you know, but we were still continuing with our plan to continue our relationship, basically. And really, I mean, I had been relying on him for not just a shoulder to lean on throughout the whole process, but you know, survival, safety, a place to land, support, and I'm just so confused right now, because and it's keeping me up at night, and anyway, then I found out some things about the situation with my friend that were like it wasn't an optimum situation, let's just say that. It wasn't turning out to be what I thought. And so he said, you know, well, okay, here's what you do. You get, you know, land in Melbourne, and like come over here, and we'll get things set up between us. We'll, you know, you can come and land here, and you know, so that's what I was gonna do. And then he told me that he didn't want to meet her. I was like, okay, well, what about, you know, like, he had suggested this thing of where, like, me, him, and his ex-wife get together to meet up, break the ice kind of a thing. And, you know, no secrets, no, like, weird kind of thing about it. Just like, you know, meet up as friends kind of a thing. So then I told him on the phone, this was like literally the night we had kind of planned everything out. Then I said, that, I said, you know, with this meeting with Teresa, you know, like, yeah, if she gives me bad vibes or doesn't like me or is like saying bad stuff about me or whatever to you, and, you know, like, you're still going to go hang out with her without me, like, that would, like, yeah, I would have a problem with that. And so he's like, well, don't be difficult or whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm not difficult. I'm just saying, like, that would totally cross a boundary. So we finally, anyway, he tried to sort of flip it around back on me, but that didn't really work. So we ended that conversation that night. I sent him a text just saying, hey, thank you so much for, you know, like, I just want to make sure you understand. I thank you so much for all your help and all, you know, and I really love you. And so, anyway, cut to the chase. Next day, he got really angry at me for something really small. I mean, honestly, like, it was, there could have been a better way to talk about it, but somehow it came out, like, very angry on the phone. I asked him, can we talk about this later, or can we, you know, like, put it on the hook for now, and then we could discuss this later, as we had agreed to do that if there was ever something that was like a disagreement or a hot topic or whatever. So that didn't end up happening. He got extremely, you know, said some not nice things to me on the phone that day. And so I was like, great, you know, like, this is like off again, like, what the heck, you know. But then it was like, oh shit, you know, I don't have anywhere I can go. Like, I have nowhere to go. And I don't have the funds saved up yet for, like, a place of my own. So anyway, yeah, I was, like, really kind of worried, you know, like, what's gonna happen to me. Anyway, then I was like, well, let me just see what I can pull off while still being here with what I've got left. I asked him to, if he would host some software for me in his software account. And we were just about to do that when I suddenly, like, I had been looking at my YouTube channel, and I was like, how is it I'm getting, like, these views and stuff? Like, can't you, oh, like, maybe you can, like, monetize that or something. And, like, I don't know, because, like, I hadn't actually ever looked at the analytics of it before, and I was like, oh wow, like, you can actually, like, you know, get a, you know, whatever, you know, not that I'm trying to use this for monetary gain in the slightest. I only turned on my camera tonight because I was sitting here just going, I can't sleep. And I'm just like, it's horrible. It's really, I can't really describe it. It's not anxiety. It's just this feeling in my chest, like this lump in my throat and a feeling in my chest. And it's just the thing that I was wondering about. Like, okay, so anyway, all that happened. And then and then after that, he just said, oh yeah, so accidentally, there were a couple other videos that were, oops, that had his name on it. So anyway, that day, or I guess, no, actually it was before that happened. He said, oh yeah, you're not coming here. I'll put you up in an apartment or something, but you're not. And I even asked, like, can I just at least sleep on your couch until I find a place? No, you can't sleep on my couch. I'm like, why would I go to Melbourne anyway? For what? Just to live there by myself for nothing? Like, why would I go there? Like, I wouldn't just go there just to go there. Anyway, I already had a flight booked and everything to Australia. So yeah, I was like, that's not going to work for me. And plus, I'm not going to just go there. You're gonna come and donate food to me and, like, give me a break. Like, I'm not going to be like a charity case, you know? Like I said to him originally, like, I'm not going to go there, like, because he kept on trying to tell me originally, like, just jump on a plane and just come over. And I was like, okay, but this is like you and me, right? Like, we're like a relationship, right? Like, I'm not just going there just because you have pity on me or something, right? And he confirmed with me at the time. He said, yeah, of course. Maybe in some way it was to sort of like help with his own, just to have some company or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm just sharing some of the events, and then, like, I'm just bewildered at this point. He said some really hurtful things to me. Basically, so that was like a month ago or whatever. Last week, I was like, you know, like, this is not okay. Like, you can't, like, it was just, and then it was just like left. And then he blocked me, and I just was like, what? Like, what? When I was relying on him so heavily to, you know, basically, like, save my life, basically. I couldn't understand why he had suddenly gotten so angry with me. Anyway, yeah. And then there was, you know, like, he wanted to go on a hiking date with his ex-wife, and I was like, wait, hold up. And I was still scheduled to, like, go over there at that time. Anyway, it all just kind of came to an abrupt halt, and no, you're not coming here. And then about, yeah, like 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, then he just was like, not gonna have anything to do with you, just goodbye. And I was like, can't we talk about this? Like, I just don't understand sometimes when people are, I have a hard time understanding, and maybe this is a flaw of mine, I don't know, but when people just simply dismiss without any clear communication as to the exact specific of a problem, and it's like, well, if you're trying to use that to justify the way you're acting, but it's not actually the root problem, then it doesn't make sense to just like it just doesn't make sense. So anyway, last week I was just like, this is nuts. Why didn't you at least have a conversation with me to say what was going, like, why? You suddenly are just like, I'm like the devil to you. I'm like the worst person in the world to you. And I sent him a couple of things in the mail. One of them was a gag gift. Well, sort of a gag gift, but a couple of little things that were just little things, which he then said I was the biggest mistake of his life, and that he just wanted to shut me out of his life. And I'm just still left wondering, like, what did I do to you actually? What, this is a person who said they loved me. They're like, yeah, come here, we're gonna start a life together. Anyway, so we did end up talking the other night. It was pretty dismissive, but it was still, I was like, okay, well, can you at least at some point in the future have a conversation with me? And so we agreed to a month. And a month later, and but then afterwards he was sexting with me, and I was like, what the heck? Like, sorry, but we're not in a relationship, right? Huh? But it just left me feeling really confused and really messed with my head. And I know this is really stupid that I'm crying about this, but I just I don't like feeling used, and like people pretend to care about me when they really just cared about their own agenda. And so I tried to ask him about it. I was like, the other day when you were like messaging me like that, like, what is going on, And then of course tonight, I'm ghosted again, and it just is it really messes with my head. I really don't like it. And I'm alone, and I know I sound really weak right now, and I'm still here, and I've started to do a bit better after all this mentally. I've been going to the gym, and have an easier mode of transportation now, so I go to the gym every day. And so I'm, starting to try to get rid of this and, this and all that. Like, it's not just for that. It's to, like, feel better and heal my body, basically, and my mind. And I've been listening to, you know, stuff that's inspirational and stuff like that. But it's like, I guess I'm just so starved for love and affection that, at the moment anyway, when someone even pretends to give me admiration of any kind, even if it's debased and cheap, I just start to question everything. And I'm alone. I don't have literally anyone to talk to. And I don't know where I'm gonna be in a month. And I'm scared. And it's hard looking for work at the moment. And I feel really I don't know, I'm trying to fix myself. I'm trying to do everything right. I just I get really lonely because you know, I don't necessarily know how to do all the right things. I wish I had someone who was like a leader who could lead by the right example, healthy, good communication, and you know, just someone who believes in me and someone who genuinely cares, and someone who would accept that from me too, because I can be like a really good friend, and I can I'm very loyal, and I guess I've been blabbing long enough. All right, I better end this. Thank you for listening, if you have, and hopefully one day will rebrand everything I'm doing to be more helpful. I know this isn't really helpful to anybody. It's just me turning on the camera because I'm in a really awkward situation. And you know, yeah, if it's like out of character, then okay, I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit in a bit of a desperate situation. And you know, I just feel really kind of betrayed and let down by somebody who was supposed to be my hero. Anyway, it was driving me a bit nuts earlier, racking my brain, wondering about this, because I don't get any answers from the other side. So it's a really horrible feeling to be treated this way. And dismissed like I'm nothing. All right, see you later.